Hey everyone, Gig Coach Jake here, coming at you live. I have a lot of great stuff to talk about. Sorry for the delay. I'm not a live streamer. I edit my videos, so my computer's not really set up for that. I want to make sure everything was set, ready to go. I had the right camera, microphones working before I went live. Anyhow, let's get right into this. So first off, great news. GrubHub, the timeouts seem to be over. Now, whether that's all markets or permanent, I'm not sure. Now, I've been saying this all along that they were going to be temporary. It was not sustainable. It was just another one of their ploys to scare drivers into accepting more offers, which they were, and being employees essentially. But it backfired on them. And I'll tell you how. In my market, we're communicating a great deal and we're sharing a lot of information. We found that at certain points, and everybody was a little bit different, that you would get cut off for 2 to 3 hours. Now, it was very consistent. I'm not going to say what numbers. I'm not going to give GrubHub any more information than they already have. But as long as you kept your acceptance rate above, just above that, you accept an offer every so often to keep it. Now, let's just use 25%, for example. And as long as you kept your acceptance rate above, at 25 or above, the offers kept flowing in. Once you drop below 24 or lower, now some people were lower acceptance, some are higher. I have a feeling it had to do with what your average acceptance rating was to begin with. So I'm not sure on that because they put a halt to it. Now, hopefully this is done. It's all over with. Just like with the pausing, right? The pausing was only some markets. It was temporary and it was gone. It's another way for them to scare drivers. But they gave enough data to show and elicit a pattern that if they get sued, it's going to be a really easy lawsuit to prove misclassification as 1099 when we're actually treated as employees. Anyhow, so for those that didn't experience timeouts, you're very lucky. Those that did, great news. They're probably over and you can go on. But like I always say, never have your eggs in one basket. So guess what I was doing when that crap was going on? I was working other apps and still making my money like every one of you should. Now, some people want to go out and make me out to be the bad guy, right? Coach Jake's teaching people how to chronic cherry pick and whatever you want to call it, right? We all have power of choice. I show you what the limitations are and what our rights are as independent contractors. I also inform you of what could potentially happen. Pausing, block restriction, all those things I've talked about in my videos. So with that being said, I've also taught you how to use multiple apps, and I always promote these other apps so you can keep trying them to see what works best for you. So those that were just stuck with GrubHub and you weren't making any money, that's your own fault. Power of choice, right? You should have turned on DoorDash, Postmates, any one of them. Like I know a ton of other drivers did. So it's gig economy. These companies could pull the rug out from underneath you at any point in time. Now, before I move on to the next topic, I want to say good morning to everybody and thank you for tuning in. I'm going to try and get these going on a weekly basis. And as I get doing them more, I'll get better at this. So I'm going to try PM1 coming up next, but I'm going to try these AMs. So I don't want to mess with UDMs. I know he has that live one from 7 to 8 a.m. my time. So I'll go from 8 to 9. So apologize for those that are East Coast that are going right into their lunch deliveries, getting busy, but we'll try an earlier time somewhere down the road. Anyhow, next is DoorDash driving down the rates. So the perfect scenario that I can really relate this to is the rideshare. Look what happened to rideshare industry. Uber was the top dog, right? GrubHub's the top dog of the on-demand food delivery, or they were. What happened when Lyft came along? Lyft challenged them for that top spot. They then forced them to race down to the bottom of the rates. Rates now in a lot of markets for rideshare are 60 cents a mile. The IRS tax deduction's 58 cents a mile for this year. That is insane. 2 cents a mile profit, not including dead miles. Anyhow, so what's happening is the same exact thing in food delivery. Now, GrubHub was the top dog. There's other ones, right? Postmates and all these other guys. Then DoorDash comes along and they have their their pay model, the $1 delivery and the subsidizing and all that. They are cleaning up, right? They're gaining a lot of market share. They're getting high valuation. They're having all these, investors throwing money at them. They're almost like they're unstoppable, right? But it's the perfect scenario, just like with rideshare. They're now forcing these companies to drop down the rates, right? Look what happened to GrubHub, new pay model. we're now making less than our base pay was before. Postmates last week just changed their pay model, no longer a guaranteed $4 minimum. So like here in Phoenix is $4. I don't know what it is in some of the other markets, but now I see drivers making $3 something on those deliveries where they're not even get tipped on. That is crazy. Again, DoorDash is causing this. They're forcing a race to the bottom with rates. Now, we can get mad at all these companies and what they're doing, but just look at Rideshare. Uber was a top dog. Those drivers were killing it, making great money. GrubHub drivers. GrubHub was top dog. Those drivers killing it, making great money. Starting to make less and less money. Lyft, Uber, over the last 3 years, have almost killed most of primetime and surge and implemented so many unethical strategies employees for them to gain more money from the drivers. Anyhow, that's what's going on. So if you're wondering, you're not sure why the Postmates is paying lower, GrubHub, it's their reaction to what DoorDash's pay model and their success. They're just countering, right? So as independent contractors, we can make better choices by not accepting crap and playing into their hands. So quit working as employees. Go run multiple apps. So for those that are premier drivers, you're feeding into this. I understand for some situations it's best, but just remember, at the end of the day, when you're complaining about no tips and all these things, you set yourself up to be an employee by chasing that carrot. Now, let's touch on the Postmates real quick. They're talking about striking. Now, I know there's the Working Washington group. They've been organized for a long time. They've been working real hard on legislations and different things. They're a phenomenal group. They're doing a lot of great things. They're pushing for a minimum of $15 an hour. Now, great stuff. And eventually, there's going to be portable benefits. There will be a set minimum wage and all those for gig economy. It's going to happen on a state-by-state basis, though. So it's going to be a while. But for those that are wanting to strike, it's not going to affect Postmates whatsoever. Again, I'm going to use the rideshare scenario. Look what just happened with Uber and Lyft. They had a huge strike. They've been striking for years unsuccessfully, and they finally had their first successful strike. Years. Let that sink in. And think about how many rideshare drivers there are in relation to Postmates drivers. It's not even close. But it took them years to create some type of solidarity and make a ripple in that. And even still, do you see those companies buckling? Uber, Lyft, did you see them drop a minimum? Did you do anything? Heck no. Lyft just announced their flat rate primetime pricing in some markets. So they did get a lot of exposure nationwide from like politicians, news outlets all over for a lot of awareness and stuff to what's going on, but no change yet. So for those that are thinking about striking for Postmates, it's not going to help anything. Go advocate by helping work on legislation if you can. The best way that we can make an effect is better choices. Think about it. You make better choices as an independent contractor and work as an independent contractor, these companies can't get away with the crap that they do. So us as individuals, myself, what can I do to make an impact and really disrupt the crap these companies do? My YouTube channel. So for those that think that I do this for money and whatever, no. I have firsthand experience of seeing what happens to families, single moms, grandmas, people that would be our family, right? Our loved ones, what these companies do and what it does to their lives. And ever since then, it's been my quest to disrupt gig economy and these companies and what they do. So that's why I educate you all to work smarter and be better, true independent contractors. Think if more of us made better choices, run multiple apps, and we're not at the mercy of these companies. They would have to buckle. We have the power. Without us, there's no deliveries. There's no rides. There's nothing. It's our car, everything. So that's why I was talking about work smarter. Now, people can go and make me out to a martyr for teaching people to cherry pick, say that I got people deactivated. Not one person can you prove that I got deactivated. Not one. Maybe someone got paused, but anyone I know that got paused, they contacted me via email and I helped them out and they got back on the platform pretty quick. So this mysterious person out there that I never heard from them. I don't even know who that is. But those that use my referral, I know who they are. They've contacted me through email, and I've helped them out a ton. So I'm going to leave all the negativity behind. I'm going to keep doing my thing and keep helping you all succeed and make better choices in this industry. So with that all being said, let's open up the comments and see what you guys have been saying. I'm sorry that I kind of held you off. I really, in my videos, I like to get to the point and discuss everything. And these streams kind of leave some time to discuss afterwards. So let's see what you guys have to say. So I'm not going to say good morning to each individual name. I'm not going to read it off. I don't want to take up too much time. But good morning to everyone. Almost afternoon for some of you. I hope you're safe out there on the road. You're not just watching this while driving. Let's see here. PM just pulled the rug. Absolutely. All these companies can, and they will at some point in time. That's why we have to run multiple apps. So when that does happen, we can flip and flop. Let's see. What about in California? I don't know. Just got a $100 plus order on DoorDash, so I'm not staying long. Man, I hope you got a big tip on that one, Jay. Good luck. So I've noticed with DoorDash, I'm getting lower offers because of acceptance rate. Now, I've heard some stuff about that, but I've not seen that to be true. Now, I've seen in general with DoorDash, their offers are $5 to $7. Now, GrubHub on my market, they're kind of on average like $6 to $8. They've dropped. They're getting closer and closer. But let's see here. Stop working dumb orders, guys. It hurts us all. Yes, we only affect each other. So we're all accepting this garbage. We're setting these companies up to keep manipulating and doing what they're doing. Let's see. Surge is still there, just not for drivers. Yes. So Rideshare, the customers are still playing a surge, a multiplier, but the drivers are getting a flat fee. They're actually making 50% of less of the fare. That's ridiculous. Jake, that fool is on the brink of being a cherry picker. I'm not going to say anything to that comment beyond it, but you all see what's going on. You see the reality. Some of us are authentic and we're true to who we are and what we say, and other people flip and flop. Let's see. It's quite sad that drivers are relegated to being forced to multi-app to make a good living, but is the reality of things. Yes, it's unfortunate we can't just sign up. You know, like GrubHub used to be a great one for people. You could just do one app. You didn't have to stress out, worry about running multiple apps. Unfortunately, you're an independent contractor, so working for one company really isn't ideal, right? At the end of the day, at some point, they can take advantage of you, and they know that. Now, if they know you're running multiple apps, they know that there are competitors out there that they have to raise the bar a little bit to keep their drivers happy. Let's see. The Phillies ask, Coach Jake, is gig jobs are going to die out because they keep dropping prices? No, they're not going to die out. And again, I'm going to use the Rideshare example. They're blowing up every day. They have people sign up like crazy. They don't have to do referrals anymore on some places. So gig economy is here to stay. It's going to change. It's going to reshape. At some point, like I said, there's going to be some legislation in place that's going to have regulation. We're going to have portable benefits. We're going to have a lot of things. Because why? It affects the economy. Think about how many people that are getting, like, you know, assistance from food or medical. Taxpayers pay for that. What about all those gig workers that have to pump money into the economy, right? They have to keep spending money for economy to be good. Well, as gig economy grows and more people are doing gig work and they're making less money or they're not being profitable, how much money do you think there is to pump back into the economy? The IRS. The IRS is losing tons of money, not getting paid from these companies what they would. So at some point, these people like the IRS are going to step in and they're going to make a big change. Gig economy is going to evolve. It's not going to go away. So for those out there saying or thinking that GrubHubs or these companies are going to change to a W-2 or they're going to dissolve, no, they're not going anywhere. They'll find a way. So GrubHub's proven that it can work. They can be profitable. Rideshare, I don't know, man. Rideshare, it cannot be profitable for those companies. That's why they're tanking in those IPOs. So Tammy says, I'm in Baltimore, have not been able to get on DoorDash for almost 2 months. Can't schedule, just jump on. Nothing available. So let me touch on that real quick. DoorDash, what they've done is they've flooded all the markets with drivers. They don't have to run bonuses, peak bonuses, right? They don't have to run referrals. They don't have to worry about crap orders being delivered because there's plenty of desperate people either trying to hit their numbers for delivery bonus or pay bills or whatever the case may be. Thing is, those people are going to go bye-bye. So what's going to happen is through the summer, drivers are going to dwindle off. By the end of summer, there's going to be a lot of more peak bonuses. It's going to come back and be less drivers and be less saturated. It's going to be easier to schedule. I know they sent out that crap email. Oh, sorry, right now it's hard to schedule. Blah, blah. We've got a lot of drivers. You did that. That was your goal, was to saturate the market with drivers. So they accomplished their goal. Makes it harder for all of us to not only stay busy, but to hit things like peak pay, right? They run these big peak pay and you might get 2 deliveries. That's their goal. But they cannot retain drivers. So you best believe by end of summer, there's going to be pretty low numbers as far as dashers go across all these platforms in different markets, and they're going to have to run referral bonuses again. It's a huge revolving door. So let's see what else. Yeah, I have Lyft, Uber, GrubHub, DoorDash, and the newest and different rideshare company called Don't Drive, which next month they launch their app. Don't Drive is based out of Reno, Nevada. John, I'm going to have to look into that. It's the first time I heard that one. I know there's Trip. There's that one that's the MLM or whatever. That one from what I know is a total scam. But we'll see. Everybody's trying to get their piece of the gig economy, right? All these companies coming in startups that want to make bank like these other guys did. Anyhow, is DoorDash doing cash on deliveries? Yes. Now, what I've noticed in my market's the pizza delivery places so far. So it's like Papa John's and another pizza place that it was cash. I hit reject. I'm not comfortable with accepting cash and that whole scenario. So if you're not comfortable with that whatsoever and you're a dasher, feel free to exercise your option as an independent contractor and reject and choose why. That's crap. I understand why they're doing that. So they're creating more work for us and responsibility. Our responsibility is not the money. It's the food. Let's see. Is it better to schedule GrubHub or just switch to accepting orders? That depends on your market. Everything's so different and it changes all the time. So sometimes I'm better off block. Most of the time, I'm better on block. The reason being, I'm going to get more offers. I'm going to get a lot more low offers. So let's touch on that real quick. The GrubHub block system is set up to keep sending those low crap offers to the premier drivers. Do you think they're going to keep sending them to the off block drivers who don't need to have an acceptance rating, who don't need to accept? No, they're off block for a lot of reasons. So they're sending all those crap offers to the premier and pro drivers. That's why you're seeing all these crap offers. And a lot of those drivers are wising up. I have a video coming soon on some that are wising up and changing and some posts and comments out there in my market. But they're realizing GrubHub's not taking care of them. Yes, they get the XL delivery sometimes. XL just means a lot of times more items, not necessarily a bigger tip. So they can have those. But that system is set up to screw the pro and premier drivers and keep them accepting the crap. So that way their customers are happy and they keep rolling. So don't think that the op block drivers op block, you're not getting as many offers, but you're getting a lot higher offers. I notice on average, the op block offers around $8 to $10, sometimes bigger. So again, market dependent. Since DoorDash is number one, the market is getting saturated with drivers. They're saturated with drivers because of the referral bonuses. They ran up to $2,000 referral bonuses in markets. I know my market is high. It's $1,500, is $1,000. We just barely dropped to $25. They went from $1,500, $1,000, $750, $500, $250, $100 to $25. Everyone's chasing the money. That's it. Once the referral bonus is gone, the people are going to go. So referral bonuses are disappearing. In the next month, drivers are going to start to dwindle. So in a month from now, we're going to see a lot more peak pay and drivers are going to be able to schedule and be doing a lot better. Mark my words on that. In Uber Eats, you can get good offers, but low tips. In my area, Postmates is low fees, but better tips, and sometimes up to $20 tips in Hollywood, Santa Monica. What's your suggestion? Great comparison, right? So Postmates is one of the best in his markets. He sees a lot of great tips, as where Uber Eats, low tips. You have to test these different apps out and see which one is best. Now, one way to do it without losing any time or money is go into a local group. Talk to local drivers, right? If you're waiting for food, chit chat with people, get information, gain as much information as you can about your particular market. That's going to help you make the best decisions and figure out which apps are best to run. So great question. To customer home and driver pick up designated driver and drop off designated driver back to their vehicle. Sorry, I must have missed the first part of that. Tammy says, I never put out referral bonus because I don't want any more drivers. That's kind of hit or miss. Tammy, from my own experience, 90% of the people that sign up for the referral bonus don't do very many deliveries at all. And about 20 to 25% do zero. So I wouldn't really worry about that too much. And the ones that do, once they hit those 200 deliveries, they're going back to whatever they're doing. They're collecting their referral bonus. Hopefully they got half from the driver. Hopefully the driver split or close to half with them. But they're going to go. So that's all going to drive up in about a month from now. Trust me. I thought $25. I missed that. Let's see. I thought $25 was just here in Cleveland, but I have to stick with DoorDash. That's all I have right now. Yeah, man, that's all you have. Then look for part-time. If you only have one app to do, don't make it be your full-time. Go get another part-time job. Do whatever you can. Try to make this your side gig. When you can run multiple apps, or if you're in a good market like myself in Phoenix, then you can make this a full-time job. I've been doing this full-time for almost 3 years. Started with Lyft. Let's see. Crap orders on DoorDash is making my acceptance rating go under 10%. Should I be worried? No, Mike. As far as I know on DoorDash, I'm hearing some things right now that people are having troubles scheduling and things like that. But they're thinking it's acceptance rating. It's just oversaturation of the market. I've had as low as 0% on DoorDash and never had any issues with them. So don't worry about acceptance rating on DoorDash. It is irrelevant. They're not going to mess with you. Let's see, drivers get 80 cents a mile and flat pay 25. Okay, that's that rideshare. All right, John, I'll look into that more. Hope you're right about DoorDash. So saturated in Central Florida. I got 2 requests in 6 hours Monday. 3 of those hours were during lunch rush. Now, also think about where drivers are going, right? Now, if a lot of drivers are going to one area, do the opposite. So sometimes, even though your market's saturated, we could still find success and go into places where nobody else are. So think about that, right? Start thinking about your market and where you see a lot of drivers, or maybe look on the map and see where some restaurants and stuff that might be a little bit outside of downtown or the city or the main spots. Go find your honey hole. I guarantee they're out there. Great question. Lynn asks, in my market, DoorDash has been going out to restaurant passing shirts. I asked one restaurant why they're wearing DoorDash shirts, and they said DoorDash gave them the shirts because they're ramping up their market. Yes, Lynn. DoorDash, they've been very successful because they are very aggressive in their approach. Their marketing, signing up restaurants, signing up dashers. I mean, look at the referral bonus they put out and what it's done. So it's the same things that Lyft did when they came on. They had huge sign-on bonus. It reminds me of everything that Lyft was doing, what DoorDash does. So anyhow, I'll get too fired up. Let's see. Will DoorDash ever go to no schedule option like Uber Eats? I think that's better. I'm not sure if they will. I think they really like that because that kind of helps them control the amount of drivers that are there, and then they can open up for additional drivers when the demand's higher. I kind of like that they have that option. Some people really like being able to schedule ahead of time, knowing that they have their hours locked in when they want to work. And there's been some times where people had scheduled a block and they ran these huge, really high peak pays, and nobody else could get on but those that were already scheduled. So scheduling isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't schedule myself on DoorDash. I just dash down anytime I do. Or I'll hit the schedule when I'm wanting one to get on like 15 minutes early right at that same time. But I don't think they're going to do away with that. My acceptance is only 27%. I've never had scheduling issues. Yep. Good to hear. Thanks for adding that. Let's see. Why won't DoorDash cut off who signs up? Because the more desperate folk they have, the better chance they have of all their crap deliveries being delivered. And also put a lot of pressure on these other companies, right? Look what GrubHub and Postmates have done recently. How often should you refresh your DoorDash app to work? If you're not getting offers or something doesn't seem right, I'd refresh it. If things are working fine, I would roll with it. DoorDash app, though, another great point. Those times when GrubHub goes down, right, or DoorDash goes down, Those that are relying on one app, what happens? You make no money. Those that have other apps, they just go turn them on and they pivot and they're going to go hit their goals. So keep that in mind. Anything can happen with these apps, even if it's just an app outage. So have backup plans. Michelle says, I schedule just to save a spot because can't always dash now. Yep, exactly. Some markets you really have to ensure that you're going to be able to work those peak times, maybe lunch or dinner. So, and it's always going to change. Nothing in the gig economy is permanent or going to be the same. They're always switching things up. I keep getting texts from DoorDash that day I was scheduled 30 minutes ago and it's dropped, but wasn't even on the schedule. Weird. All right, guys, ladies, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time. I got some more videos coming for you today. Have fun out there. Be safe on the road. And as always, work smarter.